We're reading from Bhagavad-Gita, chapter 6, verse 16. Nat yashnatas tu yokosti na chai kantamanashnata na chati swabdashilasya Jagata Naivacha. There is no possibility of one's becoming a yogi or Arjuna if one eats too much or eats too little, sleeps too much or does not sleep enough. Purport. Regulation of diet and sleep is recommended herein for the yogis. Too much eating means eating more than is required to keep the body and soul together. There is no need for men to eat animals because there's an ample supply of grains, vegetables, fruits, and milk. Such simple foodstuff is considered to be in the mode of goodness. According to Bhagavad-Gita, animal food is for those in the mode of ignorance. Therefore, those who indulge in animal food, drinking, smoking, and eating food which is not first offered to Krishna will suffer sinful reactions because of eating only polluted things. Anyone who eats for sense pleasure or cooks for himself, not offering his food to Krishna, eats only sin. One who eats sin and eats more than is allotted to him cannot execute perfect yoga. It is best that one eat only the remnants of foodstuff offered to Krishna. A person in Krishna consciousness does not eat anything which is not first offered to Krishna. Therefore, only the Krishna conscious person can attain perfection in yoga practice. Nor can one who artificially abstains from eating, manufacturing his own personal process of fasting, practice yoga. The Krishna conscious person observes fasting as it is recommended in the scriptures. He does not fast or eat more than is required, and he is thus competent to perform yoga practice. One who eats more than required will dream very much while sleeping, and he must consequently sleep more than is required. One should not sleep more than 6 hours daily. One who sleeps more than 6 hours out of 24 is certainly influenced by the mode of ignorance. Oh, watch out. You sleep more than 6 hours, you're in ignorance. Person in the mode of ignorance is lazy and prone to sleep a great deal. Such a person cannot perform yoga. Mukam karoti vachalam pangam langate gurim yakipam tamaham vande sigurum dinataranam Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyananjara Shalakaya Chakshur Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Yeah, I was just remembering, and when I first joined the temple in 1970, we were only allowed to sleep 4 hours in the night. And we were up till midnight out on the streets because we didn't have Mangalarti. In those days, we didn't go to Mangalarti. For the first 2 months I was a devotee, we were out till 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, doing Harinam from 10 in the morning till 11, 12 at night. 12 hours, 14 hours Harinam. That was our service. And we couldn't keep up with this not sleeping. This was very, very difficult. But then when I was Pujari, I did the same thing for 5 years, only 4 hours sleeping when I was Pujari in Calcutta. So when you're young, you can do things like that. But now I cannot do that anymore. Now I'm 70. When I was in my 20s, I could do sleep less, didn't need so much sleep, somehow or other. Working on spiritual energy when Prabhupada was here. We had a lot of spiritual energy, but now I need 7, but I don't always get, but 7 is good. So here, regulation. Regulation in the next verse, verse 17. If you do this, if you regulate eating, sleeping, working, and recreation, you can mitigate all material pains. You will not be sick if you're regulated. And if you're not regulated, chances are you will be sick. Too much computer, that's work. That is very bad for you. That is the problem nowadays. Not only the computer is bad for you, sitting the whole day is bad for you too. If you don't, when you get old, the rule number 1 is you have to keep moving. Otherwise your body deteriorates. Just like that. You have to keep moving. If you don't move, you just, your body disintegrates, deteriorates. That's what happens naturally. So here, there's one word here. You can think of regulation. Also, when you talk about regulation, there's one word that is used in the Ayurvedic medicine to describe Ayurveda. The essence of Ayurveda, there's one word, and the essence of the mode of goodness is the same word. So what is that one word which describes the essence of Ayurveda and the essence of the mode of goodness? Anybody can think of, Sattvic for Ayurveda? Happiness. Okay, think of the process. Regulation. Okay, I'll tell you. It's balance. Because in Ayurveda, there's 3 dosas. You have to balance the dosas. In goodness, the modes are balanced. You balance the modes. The little ignorance, passion may be there, but they don't control you. You control them. In the mode of goodness, the modes are balanced. Ignorance and passion doesn't control you. So Prabhupada says here, if you eat too much, then you will sleep more, you will dream more. And if you dream more, then you need to sleep more. Because dreaming is not good sleep. Yeah, the good sleep is deep sleep. That's when you really, your body is relaxing and becomes rejuvenated. So Vishnuja Maharaj, he used to, before he would do anything, he would ask the question, what does Prabhupada say about this? So nighttime before he would sleep, he would say, okay, Prabhupada said sleep 6 hours. So he slept 6 hours. When he was eating, he would say, okay, Prabhupada says, you fill your belly half full, half of what you want to eat, with the food, quarter full with water, and quarter full with air. And then you will digest and you won't get sick. So he followed these instructions of Srila Prabhupada. So now we are sick. We are in, what is the disease that we have? We have disease of the soul. And the Prabhupada explained the disease is that we have a material body. The symptom of our disease is having a material body. That's the symptom of the disease of the soul. The sickness of the soul is having this material body. And now we are disconnected from Krishna because we have this body, this material body. We cannot see Krishna with these eyes. Very difficult. So, and when we use this body for enjoyment, then that's like having a fever. It's like having a fever. So by practicing yoga, we reduce the fever. But we should not decrease to such an extent that we die. We don't say don't eat. We say don't eat more, don't eat less. There is a group of people which I met one devotee in Denmark, brahmachari. He used to belong to a group called pranatarians. Instead of vegetarians, instead of eating vegetarian food, they eat air, prana. They're supposed to. None of them can do it. But they had a retreat where they didn't eat anything, and they didn't even drink water. They tried, and the one who had the record, one lady, she went 8 days without drinking water. And I asked the devotee, so can anybody actually do this, live on air? He said, no. They can't do it, but they're that's what they're trying to do. And so, but this is another speculation. And this is not the principle of yoga. Your principle of yoga is you eat, but don't overeat. Don't eat too much, don't eat too little. Don't sleep too much, don't sleep too little. Because we have to use the body for Krishna's service. So therefore we have to eat prasadam. We have to eat nicely. And don't sleep more, don't sleep less. And Prabhupada says if you keep yourself peaceful, then you will not dream. And if the bile is agitated, you will see many dreams. He said you have to keep a cool mind, a cool head, a cool stomach, then you'll have good sleep, ordinary sleep. Difficult. To be in the mode of goodness, like we just had the Bhagavatam class, we spoke. Now is the time to invoke the mode of goodness. Now is the time. Today, tomorrow. Right now, this moment, we have to be in the mode of goodness. So how to keep balance? We can study Srila Prabhupada's life. Daily schedule. He would wake up between midnight and 1:30 and start translating his books. From 3 to 5 in the morning, he would chant japa. 5:30 or 6, he would go for his morning walk. And then 7 o'clock, morning program, breakfast. And then 9 o'clock to 11:30, he would manage ISKCON. 2.5 hours for management. I think we should show this to some of our managers, then see if they can do the same. Only 2.5 hours for managing, and the rest of the day for spiritual activities. Of course, the management of the temple is spiritual. But Prabhupada, it was spiritual. ISKCON is spiritual, but he only spent 2.5 hours managing. And then massage, 11:30, bath, 1 o'clock lunch, 2 o'clock rest, 4 o'clock juice. And he would only eat twice a day, and sometimes a little bit at night. Sometimes, not always. And 10 or 11 o'clock he would rest after a leg massage. So here in these verses it's explained we should be regulated in eating, sleeping, recreation, and work. We should be balanced. Does anybody know what is the recreation of the yogis? I don't know if I mentioned it in my last Gita class. Huh? Huh? No. That's our recreation, Prabhupada said. For the bhakti-yogis, that's the recreation, chanting and dancing. But the yogis, these yogis who are sitting in their asanas the whole day, what do they do for recreation? Almost. He said stand up. They go walking. Like Prabhupada, he went for a walk. That was his recreation. And he would discuss philosophy on his morning walk. That's the recreation of the yogis. And so Prabhupada gave a prescription. If you want to be a yogi at home, then other engagements should be moderate. You can't work hard for a living and be a yogi. You should eat moderately, gratify the senses moderately. Work should be anxiety-less. Shouldn't dream more. Don't be awake at night. The more one can reduce, you'll keep good health. And I told this story in my last Gita class. I'll tell it again because it's actually for this verse. Prabhupada gave a lecture on this verse, and he said to be regulated in eating, sleeping, and this little 8-year-old Gurukul boy asked Prabhupada, oh, we should not eat more? And Prabhupada said, no, for you can eat. There's 2 mistakes in eating. For under-eating mistake is very good for old men. And overeating mistake is good for young men. So you can eat as much as you like. And so then the little kid says, what about Tamal Krishna and Vishnuchand Maharaj? Can they eat more? Prabhupada said, no, they cannot. So we have to be balanced, we have to be regulated, and that is the mode of goodness. There are 10 kinds of air, prana, in our body. Prabhupada lists some of these in one purport. Apana vayu goes down, vyana vayu shrinks and expands. Samana vayu adjusts equilibrium. Udana vayu goes upwards. And when one is enlightened, one engages all of these in searching for self-realization. So, we can learn a lesson. Now, in the last class, we learned a lesson from wind, to be detached from all the things that are happening to us. But we can also learn a lesson from prana, or the air in our body. And that lesson is to be regulated. And we have to regulate our life. We have to regulate our prana. And so the verse in 11th canto, Bhagavad-Gita, one of our gurus is prana. A learned sage should take his satisfaction in the simple maintenance of his existence, should not seek satisfaction through gratifying the material senses. In other words, one should care for the material body in such a way that one's higher knowledge is not destroyed and one's speech and mind are not deviated from self-realization. So again, it stresses, don't eat too much, don't eat too little. If you eat too austerely, if you accept impure food in the name of selflessness, then you lose control of the mind. These things help you control the mind. That's what the last class was about, mind control. So if you're regulated, if you're balanced, then your mind will also be balanced. If you're unregulated, then your mind will go everywhere. And you shouldn't have too fatty food or rich food. Passion will increase. So now this chapter 6 is about Ashtanga Yoga. Ashtanga means eightfold path. What are the 8 levels of yoga? Yam Niyam, first and second, are the negative rules and the positive rules. Asana, so that's sitting posture. Pranayam, number 4, controlling the life airs. Pratyahara, withdrawing the mind from sense objects. Dharana, that's a preliminary meditation, steadying the mind. Dhyana, that's when you're absorbed, complete absorption. And Samadhi, where you're completely in trance. So these are the 8 levels of Ashtanga Yoga. So let's go a little bit more in detail. Yama, negative restrictions, means ahimsa, nonviolence, satya, truthfulness, asteya, don't steal, brahmacharya, celibacy, aparigraha, freedom from possessiveness, niyama, positive regulations, shaucham, cleanliness, santushta, satisfaction, tapa, austerity, swadhyaya, studying the Vedas, ishvara pranidhana, meditation on the Supreme. Then after you do these rules and regulations of yoga, of course they don't do this, and they go straight to asana. They don't have the preliminary rules and regulations in yoga practice. They go straight to asana, the sitting postures, and pranayam, breathing, pratyahara, bringing the mind back. There's a connection between the breathing and the mind. If you can control your breathing, you can control your mind. Pranayam. So that's what the yogis do. And we'll find out more about our practice a little bit later on and how it connects with pranayam. There is a connection here with bhakti-yoga. Dharana, meditation, dhyana, absorption, samadhi, fully focused on Krishna. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, in his book Prema Pradeep, states, the path of yoga is full of hindrances, and he gives the problems with each level of Ashtanga Yoga. There is a problem. When you practice the rules and regulations, then you get the fruit of religion. You think, oh, I'm following Dharma. I'm a very religious person. And then you might forget, oh, the goal is prema, not just simply to be a religious, humanitarian person. And then during the long period required to practice asana and pranayam, your duration of life is increased. Your longevity is increased. You become free from disease. Just like there was this yogi here who used to live in Vrindavan for a short time, Devaraha Baba. And some say he was 300 years old, some say he was 500, some say he was 700 years old. How did he get to be so old? How could he live so long? Well, one thing is the yogis, they stop breathing because you have a certain number of breaths. So if you stop breathing, you can increase your life. If you use up your breaths, then your life is finished. And so this jogging is actually not good for you because you use up your breaths faster. I mean, it decreases the duration of your life when you, Prabhupada was saying, this jogging. They think it's good for them, but actually it's decreasing duration of life. They may be healthy while they have their life, but they won't live so long. So the yogis, they can control their breath. They can hold their breath. There's examples of yogis like that who can hold their breath. But you become when you become free from disease and you get a long life, then you may think, oh, this is very nice. I'm not sick anymore. I can enjoy. You may forget. So this is the problem with perfection and pranayama and asana. Then pratyahara, withdrawing the mind from sense objects. You control your senses. But if you don't get prema, then it's like dry enunciation. Your heart becomes hard. You think, oh yeah, I'm in control. And you could become hard-hearted. And then during dharana, dhyana, and samadhi, material thoughts are removed. But if prema is not reached, there's a danger you can merge with the Brahman. You can lose your identity. So this is the problem, because with the yogis, they think Brahman, this is the goal. We should merge into Brahman. Some of them think it's Brahman, some of them think it's Paramatma. We should merge into the Paramatma, become Paramatma, become the Lord in the heart. This is the problem with the Ashtanga yogis. They don't understand that the goal is Sevananda, not Brahmananda. Sevananda is superior ecstasy to Brahmananda. So we want Sevananda. We want the ecstasy of service to Krishna. So Krishna was telling Arjuna to be a yogi. So which level was Krishna telling Arjuna to be at? We have this eightfold system. Obviously it wasn't asana and pranayama, but he was telling Arjuna, you be a yogi and fight. Now, that's very hard to find, and it's not Ashtanga yogi, it's a bhakti yogi. Yes. So usually yogi, he sits down, he meditates, he concentrates his mind. How can you be a yogi and fight? So this is the mystery of Bhagavad-Gita. You can become a fighting man, at the same time the highest yogi. And that will be the end of this chapter. The highest sannyasi. You fight for Krishna, you work for Krishna, you eat for Krishna, you sleep for Krishna. Do everything for Krishna and you're a yogi. So that's one thing we can do. They talk about mindfulness in the New Age philosophies. We can be mindful of Krishna. Before we do anything, before you eat, of course we do that. Before we eat, we remember Krishna. Before you sleep, remember Krishna. And think, okay, I'm offering this sleep to you. Before you brush your teeth, remember Krishna. And okay, this is your body. I'm brushing the teeth for you to keep this body good for your service. So this we can be meditating on Krishna like this, that we offer everything we do before we do it. That way we can be Krishna conscious. Think of Krishna during our day. Even though we're taking care of the body and doing so many things, we're doing it for Krishna. What does the yogi meditate on? According to, what does the bhakti yogi meditate on? That's what we want to know. Bhagavatam enlightens us in Kapila Dev's teachings. The yogi should meditate on the most benevolent smile of Lord Hari, a smile which for those who bow to him dries away the ocean of tears caused by intense grief. So next time you get a chance, go see the deities and meditate on the smile. And if you have any sadness or lamentation, it will melt it away. But you got to meditate on the smile of Krishna. This is very scientific process we have here. And if you meditate on the arched eyebrows of the Lord, you'll be free from lust. So each part of Krishna's body will help you. Will help you. Krishna, so another thing about bhakti yoga is it includes all of the Ashtanga yoga process. All the steps of Ashtanga are included in bhakti. So Kapila-Dev and Kapila-Dev yoga, this chapter is expanded in 3rd canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. He says with each of these different levels, you get a different result. Pranayama, there's this verse, pranayama dahed doshan. So if you practice pranayama, you get freedom from contamination. Pratyahara, pratyaharena samsargan, freedom from material association. Dharana, freedom from sinful activities, kilbishan. And dhyana, freedom from the modes of material attachment. So this is very important. So yam and niyam, the negative and positive rules, we have those in our bhakti also. 4 negative principles we don't do. Positive things, we get up early, go to Mangalarti, chant 16 rounds. We have a lot of positive regulations, 64 actually in Nectar of Devotion. 64 positive things to do. And what is our asana? Prabhupada has, when we chant japa, Prabhupada says, sit properly. If you hear the tape of Prabhupada, the voice of Prabhupada, sit properly. And he does recommend sitting straight. In one purport in Bhagavatam, when you chant japa, you should sit straight. Pratyahara dharanam, pratyahara, bringing the mind back. When we do japa, we have to bring our mind back to the sound of the holy name. Dharana, the meditation is on the deities. So, what is the meditation on the deities? You go in the morning, you see the deity, and you remember during your day, notice something special. Like the other day I noticed, they have amazing flower decorations here. I don't know if you noticed, there were 2, right at Krishna's waist were 2 parrots made of flowers 2 days ago, day before yesterday. And on his head there was a crown. Radharani had a flower crown. It was quite amazing. You can remember during the day, you can remember how, you look at the deities in the morning. Look at Balaram, he has a rope to catch you. It says in Bhagavatam, the commentary says that when Balaram or Krishna have the ropes in their hands, it's meant for catching some conditioned soul. When the rope is in their turban, it means they caught someone. So you can see the rope in Balaram's hand in the morning and say, oh, please catch me today. Remember during the day, remember how the deities looked. This is our meditation. So Prabhupada, when he talks about asana, he says, yes, asana is one of the activities. But he said, while walking in the street, you can think of the deity. So he's not so much for asana. He's more like, okay, whatever you're doing, just think of Krishna. So Hare Krishna mantra is there also for us to remember Krishna. And so this is, he still actually talks more about deity worship. He's saying they should give a new dress 2 or 3 or 4 times. In Los Angeles, they change the deities 3 times a day. They have nighttime, they have Shringar Arti, and then they have after 12 o'clock during the time they rest, they change the dress again. 3 times a day, and they kept up the standard. That was the standard when Prabhupada was here. So, Pratyahara, Dharana, Pratyahara. Another thing is, Prabhupada said Pratyahara means in technical language, the opposite. The opposite. Now our eyes see worldly beauty, so we have to withdraw from enjoying that beauty and concentrating on seeing the beauty inside. So we have to keep our mind, remember Krishna, remember the deity, and then we keep the deity's picture in our heart. Not only does the cell phone take pictures, our heart is taking pictures every second, and it's going in our subconscious. So when we go in front of the deities, we should take a picture and keep it in our heart. And during the day, think of that picture. Very, very important. So that's Pratyahara. We see opposite. We see the beauty of Krishna, keeping Krishna in our heart. And so dhyana, the 7th stage of yoga meditation, is said the 3rd stage, smaranam. The smaranam, in the yogis, they have to wait till number 7. We go in number 3 already. Chanting, hearing, remembering. We're already on number 3. And so then, pranayama. Prabhupada talks about pranayama. He says in purport in 4th canto, as far as pranayama is concerned, chanting of the holy name and dancing in ecstasy are also considered pranayama. So when you chant and dance, you're doing pranayama. You're doing your pranayama. You're controlling the mind by your breathing process, by chanting and dancing. There's a connection between the chanting, dancing, and the mind. And so Prabhupada says that in many purports. There's a verse in Bhagavatam also which talks about yoga, how to counteract the 3-fold miseries: Adi-daivik, Adi-atmik, Adi-bhautik. So, Adi-daivik, due to the demigods, by good behavior, due to other living entities, Adi-bhautik. By good behavior and freedom from envy, one should counteract sufferings due to other living entities. I can give a whole lecture on just one verse, but I won't do that today. Maybe another time. By meditation and trance, you can counteract sufferings due to Adi-daivik, due to the demigods. So if you're always thinking of Krishna during your day, offering everything to Krishna during your day, remembering Krishna, remember that picture of the deities you took in the morning and you kept in your heart. Remember that during your day. You can counteract sufferings due to providence. Too hot, too cold, these kind of sufferings. And if you want to counteract suffering due to body and mind, bhakti-yoga and pranayama. And pranayama means, according to Prabhupada, chanting and dancing. Chanting Hare Krishna and dancing, that is our pranayama. Therefore, Lord Chaitanya, it's very difficult to do this Ashtanga Yoga process. So Lord Chaitanya recommends Kirtaniya Sadahari. Always chant Hare Krishna. So this is our goal. And we can do it by bhakti. We don't have to follow the process Ashtanga Yoga. If we practice bhakti yoga automatically, then all of these things will be achieved. We'll be chant Hare Krishna, we'll get the highest level of yoga. Remembering Krishna, smaranam. So we come after chanting and hearing, we already come to smaranam. We come to the 6th, 7th, and 8th level of yogas, of Ashtanga Yoga. And so we should practice this. Time to invoke the mode of goodness, as it says in Bhagavatam. Time to balance our lives. And the only way we can really control our senses is by thinking of Krishna, chanting Hare Krishna. We can't do it artificially. We can't say, okay, today I'm gonna eat less. If you're attached to Krishna, then you can do it. If you're absorbed in some service to Krishna, I found that happened. It happened when I was on traveling Sankirtan in India. We came to one village who never saw devotees before. It was Jalgaon in Maharashtra. And it was so ecstatic. We distributed 1,000 books in one day. People were just coming, give me 10, give me 7, give me 6. Poor people were taking all their quarters out, all their change, and giving us money. We were selling them very cheap, 10 rupees. That was many years ago, in the 80s. early 80s. And we were so ecstatic that, we didn't think of eating or anything. We were just out there distributing books. And the end of the day came, and then, our body felt really, because while we were distributing, we didn't feel anything. As soon as we stopped, then we felt. But if you're absorbed in some service for Krishna, then you can actually control the mind. Then you can control the mind. When you see when you feel the joy of other people getting books, for seeing Krishna for the first time, seeing Krishna consciousness, and that joy keeps you happy, and keeps you enthusiastic that you want to do more service for Krishna. You want to do more service. Okay, I'll stop here if there's any questions. Yes.
Many questions come up. Prabhupada used to have a big bowl of Bhagavad-Gita.
Oh yeah, Prabhupada used to have.
Devotees would come and just eat as many as they liked.
Yeah, exactly.
And this was Prabhupada's way of getting people to
Yeah, right. Gulab jamuns. It's
and also
secret weapon.
But they used to eat this many chapatis, like Ramananda would eat so many. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, Prabhupada, he said, you can eat as much as you can digest.
Correct.
Eat as much as you can digest. Somebody can eat 20, okay?
Interesting also in the Purport is saying that to eat more than necessary means to eat meat.
Yeah, eat animals.
Eating animals.
Yeah.
So what's that got to do with us? We don't eat animals.
Right.
So
So
eating prasadam is actually the right amount to eat.
yes. But when you get old, you got to watch out.
All those good
Yes.
you can't do that.
Prabhupada did say, under-eating mistake for old people is good.
Yeah, correct.
He did say that. When you're young, you can do anything. You feel like you're invulnerable and immortal. You can just do anything.
So it seems the
Oh, you better. Where's the microphone?
sleeping
we have
is
a
also connected with the eating.
Yeah, that's what Prabhupada said. That's what
So
Prabhupada
if
said.
you're eating things in the mode of ignorance, you're going to sit up.
So he's saying sleeping is connected with eating. Right, do we have another microphone or? Okay, she was next. Do we have another microphone or no? Because otherwise the people on the radio cannot hear what you're saying. I can repeat, there's a microphone, yes, okay. Will it reach to you? I think he's finished. You need to go this way. Oh, yeah? Okay, next. Yeah, it's good if the online people can hear.
So at the beginning of your presentation, you mentioned that if one should only eat half. One should
That's
fill
what,
the
yeah,
stomach
yeah,
half,
yeah, that's what,
and then a quarter water and a quarter air.
yeah.
So about 20 years ago, here in Vrindavan, I had an Ayurvedic doctor, and I asked him, how do you know you've eaten, your stomach is half full? Because you can't just look inside. So he said that when the first burp comes,
Oh.
you know you've eaten just enough for your body to digest everything.
Ah. First burp, okay.
If you eat past the first burp, you are guilty of breaking the religious principle that one should only eat as much as necessary.
Oh. You eat more than the first
And
burp.
if you eat past the third burp, you invite
Disease,
disease.
okay.
So I told him when I don't burp, everybody burps. And after that, I realized that, oh yes,
Okay.
it's just a small bit.
Okay, give it to him. Thank you.
That's it.
Hare Krishna. My question is a general one. The other day I saw a notice outside your information center that ISKCON is organizing Iyengar yoga classes.
Yeah,
I think that is about physical exercise.
that's right.
But as far as my knowledge goes, Prabhupada was not in favor of this physical exercises.
Yeah.
He used to say disparagingly about them. yogic exercises, because bhakti-yoga is different, and that is
Yeah.
but so is it not straying away from the teachings of Prabhupada?
Is it what?
Straying away, moving away from Prabhupada's teachings?
Strain? Oh, going away. Going away. Okay, is it going away? Well, actually, Prabhupada said different things at different times. And one time he was on a morning walk with his devotees, and there was one man doing headstand. And the devotees were making fun of the man. Prabhupada said, no, this is very good for the health. He said, no. He says, but I don't emphasize it because then all of you will start doing it. But as far as I know, it's yeah. I mean, I don't want to comment on that. That's up to the management. So I'm not going to comment on what the temple should and shouldn't do. But Prabhupada did acknowledge the goodness of the yoga system. He did acknowledge that it was good for you. Even sometimes devotees wanted to eat only fruit and vegetables, and Prabhupada said, yeah, that will be good for you too. But you have to see to apply time, place, and circumstance. And Iyengar was a Vaishnava also. He was a Vaishnava. And one of my god sisters, she is a master in Iyengar yoga. And so I can't really comment because I also practice Iyengar yoga every day. And because I practice this yoga, I am able to travel all over the world for 7 months in a year. If I didn't do the yoga, then I would probably not be healthy. So I cannot say anything against it because then I would be a hypocrite because I practice it myself. Yeah.
Thank you, Mother. I have a question about sometimes we may eat the fruit without offering it very like putting on a plate, reciting all the mantra. So you know, especially after many years, as a new devotee, we are very strict about this. We are very strict about these things, but after many years, we become like sometimes.
Okay, so sometimes we're not so strict in offering.
Yes.
Yeah. I know in the early days, the ladies traveling Sankirtan party would go into a supermarket and offer the whole supermarket to Krishna so they could eat whatever they wanted. So, yeah, these things go on. The most important thing is not so much the ritual, but the mentality with which you offer it. If you are offering with devotion, that will be accepted. No matter if it's a simple offering or you do all the mudras. But the devotion is the important thing. And so Prabhupada gave us very simple deity worship. We didn't have mudras, we didn't have mantras, few prayers. And that was accepted by Krishna. And time, place, and circumstance, if you're out preaching, then you can do more things. But don't use it as an excuse to be lazy. Like my son, when he was a teenager, we have our deities, right? And it was too much to bring the pot to the deities. He just wanted to have it right where he would eat. And he's, Krishna, please eat. Thank you very much. And I said, why don't you just give it to the deities? He said, Mom, don't you know Krishna's everywhere? So, yeah, defeated. But we like to give it to Krishna, the deity, because that's how he comes. He comes to us. I know he's everywhere, but still, it's nice to be personal with Krishna. Yeah. Oh, well, 3 hands. Okay. Why don't you? Yeah, this one here. Let's. No. Oh, no, right in front.
so much for mentioning about the consciousness, the relationships, as I understand in my neophyte state, is that it is relationships actually go on the state of consciousness itself. The consciousness is the most important factor for the quality of relationship one.
Consciousness, yes. Intention and consciousness.
So for people like me, who have been struggling for several years to develop a real understanding and love for Krishna, although I may perform the rituals, thinking about Krishna for a millisecond, how do I actually develop that? I feel I have very little relationship with Krishna. I feel I have a relationship with devotees,
Yeah, that's good.
but not with Krishna.
That's good. It's good to have relationship with devotees. They will bring you to Krishna. But then you have to apply what the devotees tell you, the instructions. And remember Krishna during your day when you don't have devotee association. Then, okay, you can think of the devotees also. That's good. Think of Prabhupada, think of sannyasis and devotees. But practice. What can I say? You have to practice. First thing is when you chant in the morning, develop your relationship to Krishna in your chanting. Chant with relationship. Okay.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you so much for this wonderful class. My question is, now that Kartik is coming, at the end of Kartik, there are 5 days that, there is...
At the Bhishma Panchaka.
And they drink cow urine, cow dung and all this kind of thing. Was that present with
No.
Prabhupada's time?
No, Prabhupada didn't have us do. He said if we knew all the rules, we would faint. So that rule was not enforced. It was not. We didn't even know about it. It's something new. And so it's up to you if you feel that. You see if that will help you, your Krishna consciousness, then good. And if it doesn't help your Krishna consciousness, then just go on with your daily Kartik, whatever your vow, whatever you're doing. Okay, you have a question? Okay, all right. Anybody else have a question? Over here.
In the sloka before,
Mm-hmm.
Prabhupada mentions in the purport something a little contradictory. He says that if you do something for your health, then you can't be a yogi. You're just doing sense gratification.
Well, we have to see the exact sentence in the purport.
It's just in the purport, just practically in the first paragraph.
In the first paragraph.
Yeah.
Oh, yoga practice is not meant for attaining any kind of material facility. It is to enable cessation of all material existence. One who seeks an improvement or health or aspires after material perfection is no yogi, according to Bhagavad-Gita. Okay.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, because most people, they think yoga means that's the goal. They think that's the goal. But you can use yoga in Krishna consciousness because we want to have a healthy body to serve Krishna. So it's not like, but we know that it's not the goal to have a healthy body. That's not the goal of our life, to be healthy. But what I find in my old age is that prevention is better than cure. So for me, prevention is to do Iyengar yoga.
Okay, you do that.
I do that, yeah.
I'm not questioning that.
Uh-huh.
What I'm wondering about is why make that point?
Because that's what people are doing. And, I mean, 99% of the people who practice yoga today are doing it for health.
Just for health.
Yeah. And so that's what he's
Well, Prabhupada
saying.
went for wars, right?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And he says also dancing.
So that's what you have to understand is that nothing is bad
Nothing is bad if you do it.
if you do it for Krishna. It's bad if you just do it for health without Krishna.
Also, I was thinking about this thing of dreaming.
Yeah,
Because everybody dreams, right?
everybody dreams.
Every time
But
you
some
go to
people
sleep,
dream
you're
more.
dreaming, you may remember or you don't remember. But
Right.
you definitely do dream.
Right.
So
But-
what does it mean when it says you dream too much?
Put the microphone.
What does it mean when it says you dream too much?
Means you spend the whole night dreaming and you don't go into deep sleep.
Does it simply
I think I have that experience. You can wake up tired.
that's some kind of sickness? Though.
Yeah, exactly. You wake up because your mind is so active the whole night, then you don't get any rest. If you're
Not
just,
active enough.
yeah. So if you eat too much, then your mind is active the whole night. Or if you think too much, if you have too much vata.
Yeah, but I'm just about the dreaming,
Yeah, vata means dreaming also. Too much vata is dreaming.
I'm trying to relate it to bhakti.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, maybe does that just simply mean you've got to get up from Mangala?
Yeah, that'll stop your dreaming. Get up early.
You don't want to get up because you're stuck in a dream. But you should get up.
Right, right. Yeah, getting up for Mangalarti, that's a perfect solution for making dreaming less, dreaming less. And we don't have time to dream. Okay, so time is up. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.